You tell him! You tell him I'm coming! Tell him I'm fucking coming!
Straight out the Brooklyn basement. It's the GodMode Podcast. GodMode Podcast. GodMode Podcast.
Ah, shit! Back in it, though, in it. With my goddamn Grateful Dead t-shirt on and shit. Welcome back to the GodMode Podcast, session 148. Kicking it live. It's been a little while. Let me get my peripherals straight. Oh, look, we are live already. You know what I'm saying? So we back in it. Lovely night. And of course, I'm not by myself, which is kind of the idea. So, reintroducing my brother from another mother, Mr. J, to the infamous Zeno. So yeah,
yes,
we back, man. We back.
I like that. You usually calls me Mr.Zeno, but now I get it first initial.
Jay, the infamous Zeno.
Damn, I got a middle name too. I wasn't even born
Yeah, the infamous,
with a given middle name.
Yeah, the infamous Jay Zeno now. There you go, the infamous Jay Zeno. Or infamous the Jet, however you want to do it.
However you guys want to do it.
Shit. I'm sure I'm sure they call us plenty of things.
I've definitely been called worse.
Yeah, true. This is true.
Know? Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, man.
You have no choice though.
Just Bogart, like, pardon.
Coming through, motherfucker.
Pardon. We're gonna do us a podcast today. Well, it's good. Because I was gonna kick off a beat podcast tonight. But listen, since you're here, shit, the beats ain't going nowhere.
Do that. We could talk a little bullshit and,
oh man,
get into it, whatever.
I'm all for it, man. Whatever happens, happens,
I have a few
man.
things to say. Not too much, but a little something.
First
of all, I planned on coming through and bringing it back to old times.
Okay.
Bringing through some beer.
Yeah.
That's why I brought through some plastic cups.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna use them. We're gonna use them for something else. Either way, it's for drinking. But we used to get the cans, and you try one, I try one, and shit.
Right.
But I had a better idea tonight. I was gonna get some shit catered to you that you would like, and then get some neutral shit and then shit that I like, and try it together, and just pour it out.
Okay.
Instead of having our own fucking cans.
I see.
I don't know why we never thought about that shit, but yeah, whatever.
We're not that smart.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, I never claimed to be.
So,
but I fucking walked to the fucking place right after work, right up Second Ave, man, and this shit's called City Hops.
Okay.
Small little hole in the wall type shit with a little bar, but their fucking fridges are stocked full of like random
the craziest
craft
shit you could find.
Yeah, it's crazy,
or
bro.
Shit you can't
and
find.
it's always seriously, because you could never find it again after that shit's gone.
Okay.
But that's the craft beer world, as I said so many times.
Yep.
And so I was looking for some random shit, good random shit, and we're gonna try it out. But shit was blacked the fuck out. There was nothing in the fucking fridges. Door was cracked open a little bit. I was gonna walk in and see what I could find on the floor, just scrounge some shit up, bro. Because
let me get the reserves, bro. Get the reserves.
Whatever, the leftovers, reserves, the fucking about the throwaways, expired shit. I just needed something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was let down, man. But then I went to the fucking the liquor store. I'll buy you over here when I get off the train. And I was gonna look for some good old Paul Masson, my good friend Paul Masson. But I like the peach. You know what I mean? I like the peach.
Yeah.
Peach is smooth for some hood shit. You know what I mean? That's not my choice.
But I heard the selection was limited.
It was very limited. Very limited. It was they only had apple Paul Masson, and only apple I do is Crown Royal apple, which is very, very good. But, wasn't that type of night. So I looked over in the vodka. How do you say that in Russia?
Vodka.
The vodka, right? And I said, yo, fuck it. You know what? My second go-to is the Hood Ciroc shit. You know what I mean? Which is pretty damn good, New Amsterdam. Okay. So I was going to get the pineapple and the coconut and mix it all up.
Right.
And then I saw this, which was pretty cool. So right now we have the Pink Whitney, right?
The Pink Whitney. All right.
New Amsterdam.
All right.
Pink lemonade flavored vodka, right? I wasn't trying to go hard on it. It's a Monday night. You know, I got work tomorrow. But I thought this was pretty cool because it's
So he
sponsored.
comes through with the vodka.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But the pink lemonade shit, bro.
I love it.
You know what I mean? It's a light. It's a light night. But it's Barstool Sports on this shit. So I'm like, oh shit, Barstool.
Okay.
Linked up with fucking New Amsterdam. That's how you know New Amsterdam's coming up, bro. And it's just, you know, it's an affordable vodka that it's decent, bro. It really is decent. If you're gonna mix the shit, what the fuck is the difference? You know, you're gonna get some Ciroc and mix it. You might as well get some fucking shit. And, you know what I mean?
This is gonna be our new future sponsor, right?
It might be eventually. But Barstool Sports, man, on the Pink Whitney. So I'm already down.
We got the glass of pink right here. So matches my shirt. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere here.
I almost rocked some shit that had matched this tonight. Then we would have been somewhat similar. But yeah, so that's what we're rocking with tonight, man.
That's it,
take it easy.
Yeah, man.
So cheers to being back on the podcast. You know,
well, thank you for being back.
Last time I was here was New Year's.
Yes.
And what a New Year's it was.
Quite a memorable night.
What a New
on
Year's
and off camera.
You know? Yeah, you know what I mean? We ain't gonna talk about what happened off camera. You don't gotta know that.
What happened? No.
You know.
No speak no English.
But the shit's alright. So I
like the mix.
I tried to get the fucking pink lemonade to mix with this shit.
Right.
And fucking bullshit 7-Eleven down the block didn't have pink lemonade. Someone with strawberry lemonade. So now we got strawberry pink lemonade vodka. All right. It's smooth.
It is. And I've updated the vaping technology now. Yeah, I gotta say.
Show them.
You know, listen, my shit. I got a bong with a navigation system on it now. You know what I'm saying? I never had one of these when I'm freebasing joints, you know, because I've always been doing the salt nick and shit. But I figured, let me step down the nicotine, right? Yeah. So I figured, let me get this shit. Let me hold this bitch up. This fucking thing.
Trying to educate me on
this fucking thing is huge.
It's
but like,
I think
this shit's got a navigation screen, son. It gives me a puff count, for fuck's sake. It tells me how many puffs. So far of owning it, I have taken 818 puffs.
God damn.
Yeah, and I've owned it.
So it's like my Apple Watch is fucking tracking or recording of my like steps and my fitness, you know, my health, and shit. You know how many steps you take per day.
Right. This is recording the downgrade of my life.
It's plain and simple. You know what I mean?
Well, cheers to that shit.
Hey, fuck it.
But I be pluming now.
Watch this shit. God damn, bro. You saw that.
And I let it go down.
Density of that shit,
yeah,
bro.
Man, I let it go down.
That was like a cumulus nimbus.
That's a spelling word right there.
Yeah, spell that shit. Cumulus nimbus.
Yo, but
C nimbus.
Onomatopoeia. AMMOME. Onomatopoeia.
That's it.
That's better.
And you were disqualified.
Pull the handbrake, sir. You're done for the evening. Step out of the vehicle.
So you know what? Fuck it. While I still have a little bit of coldness in this cup,
light that shit up.
I'm gonna pour a little bit of this shit. I got one sitting in the freezer, nice and frigid, you know.
Frigid.
But I wanted to crack open a fresh one on the show.
There you go.
We don't need much mix for this shit.
Nah.
I usually drink Amsterdam straight.
Mm-hmm.
When it's nice and cold.
Top that.
But let's top it. And you don't got to worry about my pouring precisions because it's pretty on point. You know what I mean?
Listen, when you're hanging over an artist control and an artist mix,
this
usually
is the one steady hand you would want pouring. Your Pink Whitney.
No question about it.
Yo, who the fuck is Pink Whitney? We should fucking Google that shit.
That's a good question.
What the fuck is that shit? I mean,
maybe it's actually maybe it's the creator.
It has to be a hockey player because there's a hockey jersey, is a fucking hockey mask.
If there's a hockey player named Pink Whitney,
that's gotta be Whitney.
That's got to be some real shit right
Pink.
there. But yo, come chill with us, talk to us. You know what I'm
sir.
saying? Like vibe with us, man, because this is basically the relaxed time.
I found it.
You know what I'm saying? So
Ryan Whitney's favorite drink.
Ryan Whitney. Okay.
So he must have mixed. It says on there, not a big deal. Whatever. I hate these fucking alcohol websites because like, yo, are you 21? Bitch,
No.
I could fucking say however the fuck old I am.
But like on some real shit, we're not drinking nothing. How come I can't get on the site?
But anybody could fucking say, look, there's a Pink Whitney shit.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. New Amsterdam's website. Meet your new favorite game day tradition, a drink made famous by former NFL, NHL. That's how fucking football minded I am. NHL players Ryan Whitney and Paul. I'm not even gonna try to say that.
Paul Masson.
Bissonnette.
That's got to be Canadian.
Bissonnette. Yeah, most likely. The Pink Whitney is the spirit of hockey season.
Okay.
You know, I was just recently at a hockey game too, so this is.
So you're all in the hockey situation.
I'm not all into it, but like half in, not all in. It's pretty cool though, bro. Like hockey, I'm trying to understand it, but shit's brutal, man.
They beat the shit out of each other, bro.
Yeah, it's good shit.
But
It's good shit.
But you said you had a surprise topic.
I do.
I'm very interested in the
I
surprise
do.
topic.
But before I get into that, let me just start by saying, you know, everyone knows, you know, it's all over. You can't, you know, look anywhere without seeing it right now. And it's very, very tragic incident that happened. We lost
A legend, man.
a legend. That's it. That's it.
Lost a legend of the game. Beautiful human being.
Absolutely. Stand up.
But worse than that, you know, we lost kids on that aircraft.
Unreal, bro.
It's
unreal.
It's shocking to be, and I find it messed up that the media outlets are going.
That's what I was about to say.
They're going. They mentioned his name. Not that he shouldn't be mentioned, but you're not going to mention everybody else on that plane.
Well, they didn't know exactly who it was, and now here's how fucked up it is, bro. Here's how fucked up it is. My boy hit me up, and
I couldn't believe it when somebody told me at work. They're like, "Yo, da da da." I'm like, nah, stop playing.
Yeah, man. It's like it hit me, bro. It hit me, and I'm like, I'm not the biggest Kobe fan, but he is a class act. You know what I mean? And he is.
It's just somebody we grew up knowing. You know what I'm saying?
And he was a rival. He was a rival for my favorite basketball player, which is Allen Iverson. You know what I mean? He stopped Allen Iverson from winning the championship, and at that point, he was my arch nemesis just as much as Allen Iverson's on the court wise. But as a person, man, you don't get a better.
From what I heard, he was
legend,
a very stand up,
most humble, like at the peak of his, you know,
humanity.
No, seriously, man, like, everything. You know what I mean? And he just retired a couple years ago. And he didn't stop working. He started doing other things, you know, a book and this little short film that won a Oscar. He didn't stop working, bro, when he should have just chilled out.
Right. And then enjoyed the spoils.
Grinding,
but I think the grind is its own reward.
Of course.
For somebody
a man that grinds out like that, how do you expect him to just
stop? It doesn't happen.
All out stop.
It doesn't happen.
You know what I mean? You can't even slow down. It takes time to slow down. You know what I mean? Like a speeding
if you
train.
Want to.
A speeding train, you can't just stop on the dime. That's just gonna. If you hit the brakes full on.
Right, but some people they don't like. I've had this, and this goes for any business. Somebody who's just very like work oriented. Like when I was a kid, I used to work at an Italian restaurant. Right. It was an Italian restaurant connected to a bakery. One guy owned it. Right. You know, at the end of the day, you know, there was many people there, but this one guy, Vito Del Ponte, he owned it. Shout out to Vito if he's still around. But I remember one night the restaurant opened late, and I'm saying the bakery's way closed by the time we closed. Right. But we used to have this way to go back to the bakery to get bread. We had the illest bread on the block. Right. We still do. The bakery's still open. And I was going in there to get bread, and I see Vito by himself on the stove. I mean, like on the bakery thing. Got this ready, got that ready, to this, sipping on an espresso, listening to the radio. You listen to the Italian thing, and I said, Vito, what are you doing, man? It's damn near 10 o'clock, man. What are you doing here? He told me, buddy. He told me, buddy. The buddy, I cannot stop. I stop, I go dead.
That's what they say, bro.
You know, like, and
they
didn't hit me till like many years later. Like, what do you mean you go dead? Yeah, and then I thought, like, yo, what would happen if I just stopped?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't.
Right.
I'd be doing like, if I ever like had the pleasure of stopping work for, you know, if I didn't have monetary issues, let's call it, or needs there where shit was taken care of,
Right.
I'd be doing this podcast 24/7. I'd be doing other podcasts. I'd set up a garage, which I will do in the future to do.
Would be
You know what I'm saying? To do the GodMode Garage series, which is gonna happen, by the way. This hopefully this year, that's gonna be my expansion project. I do want to get into the automotive branch because
you have so many ideas.
Well,
to do it.
It's not even an idea right now. It's just facilities. There's I'm gonna have,
and like you said, it's your time that you spend. You have to work. You have to pay the bills, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Somebody got to do it, and so you don't have.
Hopefully, with the love of our fans and the free hits of the subscribe button, we'll get to the point where we can do this full time. Right. And actually, Sal, who we all know on the show, I want to congratulate him, shout him out. He's, I would say, 95% close to getting a house.
Nice.
And that house is literally the next house down from here.
Stop playing.
Across my back alley, you know that house?
Yeah.
That's that house.
Dang.
He made an offer already.
What a convenience.
Well, now we're gonna have, I'm gonna have backup for the podcast and everyday motivation for us to do what we do. Right. And then when the garage is built, which again I'm hoping to do this year, I'm gonna start doing the GodMode Garage series where I'm gonna educate people, and Charles, you don't even have to ask, bro. As soon as I get that garage open and we start doing stuff, come down here and we'll chill. My boy Charles Price, we used to work together when I was in PA a long time ago at Pep Boys.
All right.
Yeah, Charles is like me. If you were to sit in my shoulders and then there were another two of us, that's Charles Price.
Wow.
Yeah, Charles, awesome human being. Awesome human being. But like that's not one guy you want to get on the wrong side of. I think he can palm my head like a basketball.
With that being said, and that being said, awesome human beings. Just want to close that out. But getting back, say,
without digression, sorry.
Absolutely. Rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace to everyone else that was involved with the crash. It's horrific, tragic. Event that happened.
It's needless, but unfortunately,
I have a lot of questions on why it was even possible for it to happen. And that these are the hard questions, and it may be too soon, but there's no good time. But it's like,
listen,
people
were lost, and within those people, a legend and his legacy.
Right.
So,
well, his legacy is going to live on.
Well, his literal legacy and his daughter.
No doubt. You know what I mean? His daughter had a bright future ahead of her.
No question.
But my question is, like, it's crazy. I don't know how much you read into it or know about it.
Not just yet.
So, in that part of LA-ish, Calabasas, that went down.
I think it was from a baseball game they were flying back.
They were flying to his daughter's basketball game, I believe. And her teammates were on board with the coach and their kids, and crazy shit. But
I heard they were questioning how many people the aircraft was suited to hold.
Well,
because with helicopters, that's
he flew frequently in any helicopter, so I'm sure that he knew, how much it could hold. The thing that's in question, and I questioned it yesterday, was number one, the visibility, and they were flying over mountainous range, and that's where they crashed, and it's like, okay. Then I heard that even law enforcement was grounded that day.
So they shouldn't have been
grounded by ground control,
in theory.
But why was he able to fly his personal helicopter when everyone else, when law enforcement was grounded? So who authorized that shit?
Probably his status, unfortunately.
And that's the fucking shame of it, bro. Are you kidding me? You know? Like
There's people who should know their profession well enough. Just I don't care who you are, you're not flying today.
Right. And you know, it comes down to the judgment of it too. You know, like
could be pilot error.
You could have. I mean, look, late is one thing. You know what I mean? Fuck it. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna get there a lot quicker in the chopper. But let's get there fucking safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I got my kids on board. We're taking a bus.
That's
Pops.
senseless.
We're taking the real
senseless.
Yeah.
And as tragic as it is, that's things I think about as a father.
Well, the thing you got to also think is air transit in general, right? Flying has gotten a lot safer. Like lately, I've been watching. There's this, I believe it's a YouTube series. Like
as far as planes.
Well, as far as air traffic, and
yeah, right. The control
the whole thing, right? I was watching this thing called Flights of Terror, where it's different scenarios that actually happen with people's cell phone cameras recording, like shit where engines fly off and. Real shit that, like, if you were there, you're like, okay, I'm going to die today. Right. And when you look at it, it's a small percentage, of course, and it's been greatly reduced over the years.
Right, that's amazing.
But you see, just like owning a car, just like public transportation, it's not that we mean to, but we take it for granted.
Absolutely, and there's always a risk, no matter what.
We take the technological or the mechanical limitations of certain stuff as a given. Like, not today, not to me. Let's just go. And it's unfortunate that sometimes we can lose.
You get complicit.
You lose sight over how dangerous it actually is.
Right, you put your faith and trust into these mechanical,
and you got to understand the manpower involved and the amount of, like, here, I'll give you an example. There's one scenario that I watched, and it was really like, when you think about it, it's not really bad, right? But it could have been a lot worse.
Right.
So it was a flight somewhere. Locations don't matter. Doesn't matter. But what happened does. When the plane takes off, the jet engines, they're these big tube fuselage things. Well, as they're flying, this lady's taking, pictures of it. Thank God it was when they took off. Mm-hmm. The engine cover flies off one side. Foop!
Oh.
The engine cover flies off of the other side. Whoop!
So someone on each side, of course, today everyone got their shit rolling and taking off, going to vacation.
But they're watching this.
Hey, stuffy.
They're watching this engine, and everybody's in terror because they're thinking, it also, because what happened was now, the engine cover slapped the wing. They just took off. Now they're fucking leaking jet fuel.
Right.
Flying up. Thank God that they were able to turn around and come down. But here's the thing. Now, this is what I mean. Sometimes it's not machine. It's human error. During the plane's inspection, the covers were not fastened on correctly. And in fact, afterwards, the manufacturer, which, I won't name, they made latches that are like, the kind of fail safe. They have a key that goes into them when you open them, and the key stays there as far as it's opened. And you can't remove the key unless it's latched in proper position. Then you can remove the key.
Right.
And so you got to think of how many people have to cross their T's and dot their I's when you fly on that thing. And I know this personally because I have a friend. Shout out to Jerry. Hopefully he'll be on the show at one point or another. This guy, if you're ever flying through JFK, if you take off, is because Jerry signed off on it. Young kid, younger than us,
right?
And he is the one who signs off on these things.
Yeah. I know some people in aviation.
So cheers to those people, the ones that are not seen, that prevent things like this from happening. But you also got to figure,
when you have the people who take it as an 8-hour job and they're just trying to like, you know, get the shit through and get their day over.
Not in that job.
It's fucked up, bro.
Not in that
you
job.
Know what I mean? It's
you shouldn't be
fucked up.
doing that job.
Anybody that does something like that where there's lives in your hand,
Right.
come on, don't do that.
Right.
For financial reasons, you know what I mean? Don't do that unless you really care about it. Don't do it.
There's certain jobs like, you know, if you're gonna be,
You're gonna have to live with that.
right.
You have to live with that.
Like firefighters, law
Right.
enforcement.
Right.
Those people, like, they don't, you know, it's shitty that they don't get paid more. You know, I'm not going to go into that politic of it. But the politic I will touch on, those two, and there's paramedics is another one.
Right.
That shit is a calling.
Right.
You have to have that calling
Yeah.
that makes you want to, like, you get up every day just to, you know.
You
It's
can't look at it like an 8-hour fucking
no,
shift.
absolutely
You know what
not.
I mean, you gotta look at it like, yo,
You can't be a
you
convenience
have
store job
lives in your hand.
Right.
People depend on you,
to live.
and that's it. Don't take that job unless you're really there to do that. You know.
Right. Well, like Asel was telling me, there was a fire around his way. Ironically enough, a meth lab apparently blew up. Y'all could look that shit up on the local news. It did happen. We have meth labs in New York. I think it was a space heater that caught
What
fire.
the fuck is?
But there was, unfortunately, an
It's
11.
very compact living too. It's like
Unfortunately, there was an
motherfuckers cooking
11-year-old
meth
girl.
in an apartment.
Yeah, an 11-year-old girl lost her life, unfortunately. But the way we was able to find out is because she got carried out. There was a firefighter who took critical injury
And still
to get
try
her
to-
out.
yeah.
She, you know, she was alive when she came out. Unfortunately, she, you know, expired at the hospital. But the reality of the situation is that man didn't.
He did everything he could possibly
He
do.
didn't
and
have to go in there
Yeah.
all the way.
Right.
You know, but when they found out, he went in there. He took critical injury. He was in the hospital right with her, and you know, he got her out at least for that.
Yeah.
For you know, for the sake of
And
saving
that's
a
doing
life.
your job in that
Exactly.
you know, line of duty.
Yeah,
And it's
same-
crazy, man.
Same thing with law enforcement. You know, them guys too. I mean, the ones that
Yeah,
the
they
ones
do
that
it
really
right.
do it though.
They
You
do
know
it
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like I watched.
Not all of them are, you know.
That's every profession. That's the people you're talking about. That's the 9-to-5ers. The
Right.
you know, in those professions,
They do it
the
for a paycheck.
abuse of power.
Do it for a paycheck.
You know,
That's it.
well, yeah, for you know, to carry a gun
power.
and have bragging
power,
rights.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in this case, you know, one bad apple can't ruin the batch. It can't. You can't let it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, the statistics, just like these shows about like the things that do happen. I watch this shit and I go like, I'm always afraid of flying. To be honest with you,
Me too.
I try to get
Me too.
I try to get absolutely
convenient.
inebriated.
So convenient.
Yep.
Because, like, I go to Florida every fucking February. And we have the same week booked up. And we do it. And I used to take the RV there. And I have such a fear of flying. But now it's like I don't have the time to do it with my work schedule.
Right.
So I fly.
Right.
You know, and like for the few years into me working, my family would drive, and I would have to beat them out there. And it's only me flying, and I'm like, fuck. Yo, when that plane's taking off, I'm all right. I'm okay. When it's coming down, bro, I'm like,
When
shit.
air
Here we
pocket-
go.
Air pockets is where
Here
I
we
shit
go.
a brick.
And I'm fucking yeah, bro. It's
Rough
it's scary.
air.
But now, with that being said, as fearful as I am of flying, right? I won't dare get in a motherfucking helicopter
Nope.
ever
Nope.
in my
Nope.
fucking life.
I'll tell you one thing. The only helicopter I'll ever get into is the one I'm piloting.
No,
Yeah. Like if I'm,
Shoot,
but
God bless your soul. Me, look, like you said, there's been so many, you know, like the story you just said of everything going wrong with that plane taking off. They were able to turn it around and coast back down. They could shut the fucking engines off and coast back down because of those wings.
Hey,
You
guess
know what I
what?
mean?
I didn't.
They come back down with those wings and they could fucking land.
And I didn't even mention the fact that it caught fire on the runway, loaded with.
Oh
jet
yeah, that
fuel.
shit happens. Well, of course, yeah, man. It's a fucking bomb. It's a fucking tin can bomb, basically, and loaded with fucking passengers.
Yep.
But you have a greater survival chance of fucking flying in a fucking plane than a helicopter now.
Yep. I'm
Because
with
you
that.
know what? As advanced as technology is, bro, you look at this shit. Like, of the fucking the helicopter that crashed into the East River. like last year or the year before, whatever the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tourist helicopter.
Yeah.
And they crashed to the East River. Now, the tourists on it, they didn't want to unstrap because they were too scared. They went down with the shit. The pilot was like, sure, I'm out this bitch.
Right.
This ain't a fucking vessel, a sea vessel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I ain't going down with the fucking ship. Motherfucker landed in the shit, and he was unbuckled, ready to fucking go.
Right.
And you could survive it like that, but at the same time, there's a lot less of a chance of you surviving a helicopter crash, because once those fucking propellers fail, you're spinning out of control.
Right.
There's no steering it down. You don't have the wings to, guide
to
you
coast.
down and
Yeah.
coast.
That
With
thing
all engines shut the fuck off.
No, that's a
You know what
brick.
I mean?
That's a brick in the air, bro.
Like look at the fucking Miracle on the fucking Hudson. You know what I mean? Look how, what was his name?
Sullenberger.
Captain Sully motherfucking landed that shit on the Hudson River.
Yeah, man.
And you make it out alive. I'm good with that shit. And I was talking about this shit because, when the news came across and I got the text from my boy, we was watching the Pro Bowl yesterday, and I'm like, no way. No fucking way this shit really happened to Kobe. You know what I mean? And then, of course, the fucking media outlets are all over the place. His whole family is in there. Or fucking, they always want to be the first. But hold on.
Yeah, like, get your fucking facts straight.
This shit happens, right? And they confirmed it as I'm looking at it. I found a couple different outlets. Now, New York Post was the first one. Yeah. Would New York Post really say that shit if it didn't happen? No. Would it have all the facts straight? No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
But I'm sure that it's confirmed that, it went down, it happened. And so when that happened, I started discussing in front of my kids, my girls, and as I'm holding them tighter in this situation, because before I even knew his kid was involved, I'm thinking of me. Like I just said, I fly by myself. So now I'm holding my kid a little tighter while I'm watching the Pro Bowl, and I'm like, fuck. And me and my uncle start discussing, what's the safer method of flying. Right. And my wife's like, shh.
Yeah.
We're about to go on vacation in a couple weeks. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah. I'm saying all positive things about this because I'm flying and I'm very, very scared of flying. And I'm saying that if the plane started to go down, we have a better chance.
Yep.
I'm saying I'm not putting my damn kids in the helicopter, whether it's mine or theirs or it was just tested. I'm not doing it because there's no stopping it once it goes down.
Yep.
You're crashing.
Yep.
A plane, you might be able to land that shit. Way better chances.
I'm very surprised that there is no, like, just one thought just came to mind, and I don't know how how sound the thought is, right? But in case of all engine shutdown, why not have some sort of parachute system?
Whoa, on the helicopter itself, right? To like coast it down, right?
Like, not even to coast it down, to give you a better chance. Yeah. Like, I know you can't
at least slow it down,
right? You can't like
and stop the force of the crash.
Like, you can't attach it to the prop,
right?
Okay, fine, because the prop's on top, right? But let's say, just for my theoretical sake, the tail of it, as the tail is going back,
and you shut the doors.
It's attached to the tail,
right?
So it fires off, and
in a fail-safe situation,
exactly, and it fires off, and three or four parachutes, or at least something that will lessen the impact load, and then now the helicopter does this number.
Yeah.
And you at least have a better chance.
No, you're right.
Or in a complete, and in that,
I mean, you have the rotors in the back as well spinning. Right. But if you're in a
it's designed the right way,
and if you have no chance,
right, that'll help you.
At that point, you could like release the propellers and those fucking go off,
or
you release the fucking tail.
Right.
I mean, look, who the fuck am I to say this shit? I don't know.
We don't know, but like, just ideas
wise. But yeah, bro.
Or when
I never thought of that.
Or like, I just thought of another one in a full engine.
By the way, we don't smoke.
Yeah, this is
not hit blunt,
this is sober. You know what I mean? These are sober thoughts.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I got a little bit of Pink Whitney in me, but god damn, bro, that's You know, like there has to be something.
Well, I
bro.
just thought of another one that's a little more like it's a little more detrimental to maybe the surrounding area, but I would say a lot safer in regards to deployment would be a prop release.
Right.
So now let's say on the roof of the
Right.
vehicle at four corners there are blast parachutes that
Blast the propellers off.
well meaning like when the parachutes deploy they don't just flap out and deploy.
Right.
No, they're blasted out.
And then it releases.
Right. So it's a two-stage mechanism. First, the prop itself, the helicopter rotor, busts off.
Right.
Right. And then the four parachutes blast engage.
Yeah.
So you lose your prop. Yeah, there's possibility that prop
And
may
also
hit
like
something on the ground.
A little bit of thrust underneath to like.
But you can set the prop to actually bust into a few pieces to make the damage minimalized on the ground.
Right.
But something like that as a fail-safe system may be something to look into in the future. Just from a dummy's perspective.
Look, if we could think it, if you and I could think that up,
right? But we'll think of it this way: the next evolution, and I've been saying this as a technician working with vehicles. The next step is up.
Right.
It's happening.
I hope fucking not.
It's happening.
I hope fucking not.
I assure you, it's happening.
I fucking hope not.
I'm on that train.
You want a fucking flying vehicle?
Yes, but
crashing into your house?
It's gonna happen. The FAA is gonna have a nightmare within the next 20 years. It's gonna happen.
Hell no.
But here's
we did that shit in 2000. We was like, yo,
look,
you're fucking flying cars. Y2K's coming. We got flying motherfucking vehicles.
Here's the reality of it. The drone technology. It's basically
I know you're into that shit. So am I.
But the reality is, it's scaling up a drone until it can carry you.
Right.
That's all it's gonna be, and that's all it is. And it is happening. There are people have made drones.
Well, that
have lifted them
up.
I mean,
still a lot safer than a fucking helicopter.
Correct, and because that technology is safer, just in the respect of control.
Right.
Because in a helicopter, everything is controlled by the pilot.
Right.
Pitch, yaw, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, in a drone, especially the ones of today, it's not. I'm going to turn left. I request to turn left.
Right.
You're requesting it to turn.
Right.
You're not controlling it.
Right.
And that technology is actually in a lot of subsystems. That,
I can see that.
Like fighter jets, for instance.
Yeah, absolutely. Like just how it could
fighter jets. You're requesting the turns.
Yeah.
You will not be able to hold that aircraft stable at subsonic speeds or supersonic. I do not care how well trained you are as a pilot.
But that has an ejection.
But listen to what I'm saying. The control system. You're not holding the stick and directly like back in the days, it's cable driven to the ailerons or hydraulically.
Right.
No. You're holding a stick that's tied into a computer. The computer now is making all the adjustments so that the plane is flying optimal. Right. Now, when you turn, it does okay, fine, or it does it, not you.
Right.
This same technology now with the little drones, it's already in the little drones. Okay, fine. But that same technology now is going to be implemented in the drones that carry people. It will. I can guarantee you. Now, are we putting a lot of faith into that technology?
Well, yes. I don't
we
see
are.
that.
We are.
I don't see that happening in a long time.
Nope. I'm going to see it happening within the next 10 to 15 years.
You never know because you're mind blown over certain technology that came out in the last how many years.
These guys are building these drones in their garage. When we have our show, I think I'm going to try to build one because all the technology for it exists. All it takes is balls. So at this point, I believe that how the biker boys are meeting up on the side of the highway. I believe future biker boys are going to meet up on rooftops.
So is it going to hover or is it going to actually fly?
It's going to hover and it's going
to then progress from there.
Well, it's going to be vertical takeoff and landing VTOL, but I think those props are going to turn if it takes off, props turn sideways and you go forward. It's going to be VTOL. It's it's helicopter status, but with automatic pilot, essentially. Automatic stabilizing gyros.
Right.
The gyro and those things is going to be the most important thing.
I can see that.
You know, so it's like taking away a helicopter pilot's ability to stabilize it with his feet, because, you know, with the helicopter, you got the feet stabilization, and then you got the stick. So you're going through all of that to keep this, just to keep it stable.
Right.
Okay. Now, with a drone, you could throw a drone, or you can walk up to it and push it. It'll go
and it'll still
like
balance
this.
stuff out. Yeah.
So that same technology will be in the people carrying ones. In fact, Dubai has bought a few of the first production ones as police vehicles, I believe.
What the fuck?
Yeah, flying motorcycles.
I'm gonna look that shit up.
We'll look it up right now. I will look it up and I will show you what I'm talking about. The one that Dubai bought. Let's see.
I believe you.
Dubai flying motorcycle.
While he looks that up, I'm gonna close out with the Kobe conversation, because, you know, I don't have much to say,
yeah, we really digressed.
I mean,
Sorry.
No, it's all good. No, we didn't. I wore this Brooklyn Nets hat tonight. You know, it's not the usual Brooklyn Nets color. I got the gold basketball on and whatever, you know. And tonight, this represents Bryant. All right, that B represents Bryant, not Brooklyn. So rest in peace to my man Kobe. Rest in peace to. And here, I'm gonna pour a little something else for me. So my man's putting it up.
Yeah, gotta do it.
Yeah, that calls for a toast. Rest in peace to all the others who were involved in it. And that's how I'm gonna close that off.
Moment of silence. Godspeed.
My prayers
to the families, all the families.
All of them.
You know. But on your point, Charles, absolutely right. Our grandparents never foresaw the technology that I'm about to show you.
Yeah, of course not.
Well, here, this is.
I didn't see that shit.
This is the actual unit.
It wasn't even sci-fi when we were growing up, like what we have now.
Well, here's the actual unit.
Yeah.
Let me pull this up so you guys can see it. This is the actual flying unit.
And that's Dubai? Oh, so it's like a bike.
It's a quadricopter.
Okay.
But it's designed like a motorcycle. So here you can see it.
See, I was visioning.
Look up there.
Yeah, I know. I see it.
Yeah. So this is the actual unit. Yeah. I'd like to see if I can find a video of it flying. But this is the unit that Dubai purchased a couple of them. I believe, don't quote me, I believe this is a Russian company.
Of course you
don't quote me. Don't quote me on that. All right, Dubai's police.
You know what though?
Yeah, Dubai's police test flying.
Speaking of Russians, have you seen John Wick 3?
Shit, yeah, I have.
Holy shit.
Shit,
bro.
yeah, I have.
Holy shit. Just what I thought, I'm like, yo, all right. I'm all out of shows. I binge watched everything. I ran through fucking shit.
When I seen this thing, look at this. All right, here we go.
Let's see. Full screen that bitch. 2017. You see that in the back? Where they're testing it?
So understand that this 40 miles an hour for now.
Right.
But understand.
That's fast enough for me, bro.
But understand, this is low altitude, leaping over houses kind of
40
shit.
miles an hour in a drone, right? You're in the sky.
Look at this.
So you have nothing obstructing you going forward. So a high-speed chase is going to be a lot more safe with one less vehicle behind a vehicle who's out of control. And so if police have that technology to have drones in that capability.
Just fucked up and threw Disney on the screen. Disney's gonna hate me for that. But the reality,
all good.
yeah, reality has it that this will be, this is happening.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
It's already happening.
That's gonna happen.
It's done. This is
This
is production in 2017.
I see that.
So
Mind you,
to be honest, these things are going to be easy to service. These things are going to be affordable to own. Yes.
Not at first.
Oh yes. Oh yes, they are. Think of the technology involved. You can build one.
Yeah, but it's not about the technology. It's about
proprietary things.
I mean, look, how much does it take to really make one of these?
Right.
And these shits are going for no less than a fucking $1,000 now.
Well, I'll say this
for a good model.
I'll say it on the show. What I am planning to do in the GodMode garage. Mm-hmm. Now that right there.
I mean, you go Tesla on them all day, bro. You know what I mean?
I will, but the reality is, our engines didn't die yet. Mm-hmm. I will believe in the longevity of a gas tank and throttle long before. So here's my idea.
I mean, you can because it's theoretically
it's cheaper,
feasible.
It's cheaper and available.
Is it cheaper though? It's not, because there's been
the range
proven
the range
only because of what we're available.
The range,
the availability of
the range and serviceability. But here's what I'm saying. I would take, let's say, a high performance motorcycle engine. Okay, even the frame of it. Okay. And you saw what that was, right? Now imagine that right there being...
I don't need a Ducati engine in that shit, bro.
But think of it.
Give me a Prius engine and I'm all right.
But a Prius engine on a motorcycle is ridiculous, first of all. It's a 1.5 liter. It's already higher than a Ducati.
That's all I need, bro.
Well, that's higher than a Ducati.
That's all I need.
The highest Ducati engine, the highest Ducati engine goes up to 1.5 liters. Listen to what I'm saying. Now, if you take, let's say, the vehicle that I will own one day is the T-Rex, right? A T-Rex.
You're so selling this shit.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. The T-Rex uses a 1.6 liter BMW inline 6. Now
He's talking real foreign to me right now.
Well,
he might as well speak Russian.
But let's say...
But no, it's all good. It's all good. I got you.
Factually, what I plan to do with the T-Rex is make it a VTOL. Mm-hmm. Replace the wheels with propellers.
Right.
Replace the controls with software.
Right.
That control the
But that should... All right. So basically... The blueprints of it, but that'd be way too heavy to fly.
Depending on the props and the horsepower that's generated.
Yeah, but you have to shave down the weight, the net weight, and
depends how much does that vehicle weigh now.
Well, why even make it that heavy?
Because now
that's on the ground, so you want that stability and that.
Well, now you're talking mathematics. Now, what I want to do is I would like that vehicle to be a VTOL, and it's already light.
What's VTOL, first of all?
VTOL is an acronym: vertical takeoff and landing. VTOL. Okay. I'd like to make that vehicle VTOL only because it fits 2 passengers comfortably. It's already at the minimalist of weight, and it uses about 160 horsepower power plant. It's a 1.6 liter. Now imagine because batteries weigh things too.
Of course, right.
So here's the thing:
batteries
whatever the curb weight of that vehicle is, you get props that can pick that up with 2 passengers in it.
Right.
And now you're going to calculate your actual distance that you could fly, etc., so on, and the maneuverability of the vehicle. But the platform, the frame, is already there.
Right.
So God forbid you are involved in a crash. There's a frame around you. There's a slight chance of survival, and and most likely a lot of these vehicles at first, due to FAA regulations, are going to be operating low altitude. You're going to have people flying.
That's why I asked, is it hovering or flying?
Yeah, you're going to be flying maybe above, like in New York, above an apartment building. That's about as far as you're going to be.
Like a 2-story?
No, I'm talking like
ground.
I'm talking like, a PJ. That's
whoa.
That's about as far up as you're going to be going.
A small, like 10-story.
Yes. Yes, a high rise.
That's fucking high, bro.
It's high enough, but it's
high enough for a motherfucker to crash into it.
Yes, but it's not not that unsurvivable.
We could crash into somebody's fucking living room couch.
Hopefully these things will happen.
Oh, I know.
My words.
And I don't want to see that.
These things, but it's gonna.
I don't want to see that.
It's gonna.
So now,
innovation comes at a
that's
cost.
the thing. So with that being said, you have to have some kind of.
And this is coming from a